for and they get diagnosed with is anxiety. And that one drives me nuts. It drives me nuts because people pretend that anxiety is a disease.
Yeah, it's not.
And I'm like, my God, the world should make you anxious if you're a sensitive, introspective person. If you're just looking at the world itself and you don't put it in perspective, like it's filled with anxiety. The anxiety it's future problem solving. You're thinking about all the things that can go wrong. You're thinking about your life in a potentially devastating way. And that's not a disease. That's just a way you look at the world. And people getting diagnosed with it.
Well, I won't quite agree with you on that one.
In what way?
I felt anxious at times.
Sure.
The world every day is the same.
Right. You're giving yourself anxiety by looking at the world, right?
And by how I look at the world.
Yes.
Because I can look at the same world one day and feel grounded and connected, and I may have all kinds of concerns about what's happening in the world, but my nervous system won't be on edge. My adrenaline won't be flowing. I won't be anxious.
That's my point, is that it's not a disease.
It isn't a disease.
Right.
So one of the brain circuits that we have is for panic and grief. Panic and grief are the normal responses of the young human being or the young animal when care isn't available. So when the parents are stressed, distracted, and they don't respond to the child's distress, they don't pick up the child when they're crying. They make the child be alone when the child is upset. The child's panic circuits get activated, as they should be, because when the child's panic circuits get activated, they cry for help.
Yeah.
So it's necessary for survival. A young animal should feel panic when the adult is unavailable. In a rational world, in a sane world, that child would be responded to. But when children, as in our society, are not responded to in their distress, the panic becomes built into their nervous system. And now you have a lot of anxious people. And that's why more and more kids are being diagnosed. You're right. It's not a disease. It's a response to the environment.
And the thought process of like leaving a child alone when the child's crying, is that to toughen the kid up? Is the thought process that you don't want to encourage this sort of behavior because then they'll do it all the time? Like, what is the thought process?
The thought process is that the child's behavior is the problem. And so we have to fix the behavior by controlling it. Now, actually, the opposite is true. Because if you pick up the child when the child has distress, physical or emotional distress, you're teaching the child that the world is safe, and they don't have to be anxious about it, and they can just ask for help. So when the adults show up in a calm, loving way, that the child downloads that into his own nervous system, and then he grows up. He's not going to be an infant forever. At some point, he's going to be a mature adult who knows how to take care of themselves. That's a natural process. We don't have to teach kids to be independent. Independent is nature's agenda, because the parents are going to die. At some point, the mother bear is going to disappear. That bear cub has to be able to look after themselves in a mature, confident way. That's nature's natural agenda. What the mother bear needs to do is to meet the needs of that infant bear, so the infant bear can mature. So if we meet the child's needs, they're going to mature out of that helpless state with a sense of self-regulation and calm confidence in their own capacity. But when you don't pick kids up, what you teach them is that the world is not available, that they're alone, and that they're helpless. Talk about a formula for anxiety.